Welcome back everybody to my channel. Hi, I'm Rizbo the Blade, your personal mining guru, but today we're gonna do again video about salvaging because I promise that I'm gonna show you what's the perfect method to stack boxes in the salvage processing room in the reclaimer when you're doing salvaging with that ship. Before I'm gonna show you most efficient and best stacking of these boxes in the salvage processing room, I need to mention some things which are very important, especially for you guys who are just buying reclaimers and you're gonna start to do salvage and doing this construction material salvage. In the reclaimer, theoretically, you can fit over 2-3,000 SCU of any type of cargo, right? But you have limitations for items, how much items you can actually put on the floor in particular room, and because of that, if you do it too much, these items are gonna start to disappear. And this is also happening with boxes. So that means that in reclaimer maximum you're supposed to unload 6 full buffers of construction materials, for example, right? And you need to leave 1 full buffer unloaded. So when you deliver a reclaimer to your place where you're gonna sell this stuff and unload in the freight elevators, you need to first unload what is inside the reclaimer, and then after that you're unloading what is still in this last buffer to completely unload all the cargo outside of the ship. And these 7 buffers are 1680 SCU of construction material, or 105 of 16 SCU boxes. And now with clearing all that, it's time to show you what is the most efficient and the most logical way to stack boxes in salvage processing room for the easiest unload. Let's begin. So here we have our buffer number 1, and just for information, this footage is speed up from 1 to 1.7 speed, so it's a little bit faster, but it's still in some normal speed, so you guys are going to be able to see everything what I'm going to do and show you, and we're not gonna unnecessarily wasting your time. If you really want to, have it slower, you can easily, adjust the video on YouTube. It's option for that, so it's no problem. As you see, I'm stacking first boxes, and what is most important thing now to know, on each side here in the front part of the ship, you can put it 3 on the grid on each side, and you need to push the boxes towards the middle. So you can push it towards the wall on each side or towards the middle, and they need to go towards the middle. This is important to create with these old boxes a tunnel which we need to actually get out from this room, because it's gonna be huge amount of boxes and it's no ladder anywhere around, so that's the only way how you can get out of this room to do more salvage and take in more materials into buffers. So now we place 3 on each side. They are pushed towards the middle of the room on grid, and this is only grid what you have in this front part. You have also smaller grid for smaller boxes, but we don't need that, right? And now we are putting 1 more box next to these 3 boxes on each side, and this is now ready to place 4 more boxes but other way around. So we're gonna create a tunnel. Now we're gonna place this box like this, and in this front part where we're gonna stack 3 buffers full, these 4 boxes are gonna be only boxes which they're gonna be turned like this, how you're seeing now. Because you see in the middle, now we can walk. So only 4 boxes gonna be turned like that. And everything else is gonna be turned like we were stacking first boxes on the grid. This is now last one, which is going to be from this 4 turned like this, and now this is ready for second layer, right? So here where I'm pointing my tractor beam, also showing where it's gonna be 1 more layer, but this is gonna be on the end. We don't have to do it now, so we can see everything easily. And now 1 more advice that I can give you. If you wanna be very accurate with placing boxes, it's better to walk with them than scroll the mouse. Then you are much more accurate because you have slower speed of that movement. And now you see what I'm doing. I'm stacking these layer up, right? But we don't have any more boxes, so it's gonna be time for buffer number 2. So now I'm a little bit adjusting just to put them more together, to squeeze them. And now we can do buffer number 2. We already, fill up our buffer, and now it's time to unload it again. So with this buffer number 2, as you see, I'm waiting a little bit on one buffer till like half fill up. So the box is gonna be, be unloaded one, and then it's gonna be a little bit time passed, and it's gonna be second one. So it's gonna be, left, right side. And now you see, if you wanna do it like this, you can't. You really need to go from far so you can see something. But you need to be careful to not put these boxes in the back, to not fall off from this place where they're placed now, because you can actually put like one more row next to the elevator, right? But it's not necessary. So I'm a little bit adjusting, and now all these boxes, what you see here, they're gonna be placed like this, and we can put normally 4 row up of 3 boxes in the line. And now we just repeating the same process of placing these rows one after another, right? So you can put first in the middle and then on the sides, or first on the sides or on the middle, and then you just squeeze them together, right? So it's like a firm construction. Usually placing boxes is always better to like crisscross them, right? But because of easier and more faster unloading, to not turn them again when we're gonna be unloading, we need to do it this way, right? So this is not so firm, but it's pretty good, right? Because you're not gonna do some crazy maneuvers with the reclaimer to these boxes fell down, right? Only if you're gonna be doing some crazy fighting, but in that case, you're probably not gonna survive. You see how this grate is looking, and it's all firm. And now, next thing, what I'm doing one more layer, but here we can't place any more like 3 in the line, because it's this like part of the construction in the way on the left and the right wall. So it only fits 2, and you can put a little more separated from the middle, and then you put 1 on the top like this, and now we're gonna put 2 on the sides. And this is now ready to keep stacking everything on top. So these 2 layers with these 2 buffers are the most important part in stacking, because now you prepared everything to just keep putting boxes on top, where now you don't have to do any type of constructional thing. So it's going to be the most easiest way of stacking it, like you see this last box. So this is gonna be left and right side the same way. So let's show you that. This buffer number 3, it speed up even more footage, like 1.5 time, because it's very simple stacking. So you guys gonna see what I'm going to do, so we really don't waste your time. But I really want to show you, how this looks like when I'm doing it, right? So now we just keep pushing them in the back, and you can stack like that 8 boxes, so 4 on each side, and then you can do a second layer of 8 boxes, 4 on each side. And when you do that, you're going to be done with this front part of the salvage processing room. So then we're gonna go on the back part and also unload 3 buffers there. And it's a little bit different there, so you need to watch this all to understand what to do. As you see, I'm still stacking this first layer, right? And then on the top, we're gonna do more. So a lot of players are filling up the balconies around with boxes, which is completely unnecessary thing to do. You're just wasting time, then boxes know to stack, then you need to put them down. It's just a ridiculous thing, because players think that you can fill up this room full, which is actually a correct thing to thinking like that. But unfortunately, because boxes are disappearing, we can fill up half of the room, which is still huge amount, right? But people are like hamsters. They just want to keep filling up till it's not gonna explode. and unfortunately we can't do that in ships because ships has limitations, and you know, you cannot go over that, unfortunately. So now we're stacking, you see the last box here, and this is it. This is 3 full buffers. And normally now is the time to fill up the backside of the reclaimer with 3 more buffers. Now we're gonna fill up the back part of the reclaimer. So this part is a little bit shorter, and this is buffer number 4. And it's a little bit different, right? How we're gonna set up the boxes. Not much, but it is a little bit different. So let's show you that. And also I forgot to mention, this is gonna be 2-part video. So in second video I'm gonna actually show you how to unload, because this takes really time and I really don't want these videos to be too long. So like I said, this back part is a little bit different, and it's different that way. It is a little bit shorter for like 1 row of boxes. So here in the back we have only 2 places where we can put on each side boxes on the grid, like you see it here. Now it's 2 on the right side, it's gonna be 2 on the left, and we're also placing them again towards the middle, right? Because you can also place them for 1 SCU space towards the wall, right? But we're placing them towards the middle because we need to create that tunnel again, right? So now we're placing again 3rd one here, but as you remember, that boxes was actually 4th box on each side, so this is that one, you know, like layer less, so it's shorter. And now we're gonna place on the furthest boxes 1 box on each side, same way, like this, right? And like I said, guys, it's better to walk with them than to, you know, keep spinning them around if you're you know, playing with them too fast, right? It's just easier way, you're more accurate to doing it like that. And now you see, this is where it's gonna be different. So now we're pushing this box towards this like hydraulics in the back, which is opening that small path through which we're gonna drop them out when we're gonna do unload. So this is the main difference, right? And now everything else is gonna be similar, but because of that one less layer, because it's everything shorter, this is the main difference. And normally when you're placing them, you always need to squeeze them, you know, together, so it's gonna be like firm construction. And now you're again putting 1 on the side here, because you can much more easier see now than like put these 2 boxes in the middle to create tunnel and then placing these boxes on the side. So it's just a logical thing, right? You know how to see better when you're placing them, and so you just really need to remember the pattern, because when you're gonna do this few times and you're gonna start to understand how to do it, you're just gonna place them like a robot, you know, it's just gonna be automatically for you, and you're not gonna have any problems anymore. So we're stacking more. Now you see how the tunnel is created again, but we need more material. Buffer number 5 is full, so let's unload that. See, I'm again waiting a little bit till the middle around, and then I'm gonna click other side, because then, you know, it's just pushing out like 1 box, and then when you deal with this one, then it's pushing another, so it's like continuous loop, you know, they're not going both at the same time. So it's, you know, just more efficient, right? And less troublesome, if you want to say it like that. So we're pushing it together, making more firm construction, putting this one here now. And this is how you stack, like this is what I'm doing from the first day, because for me that was just the most logical thing to do. Like I don't see any other option which can be more convenient and more easier, if you want to say it like that, for unloading, and also, you know, to not have problems with some stacking, right? And I'm not using any more additional time, so this is not time wasted, this is just doing it in the same loop when the boxes are coming out. You just need to be precise, and you need to know the pattern, and that's it. It's simple as that. So again, we're putting this now again 2 in the front, so we're gonna put 3 up, because again we have these parts of the construction of the reclaimer on the sides, which is not allowing you, you know, to put more boxes next to it, or do it in the same line, because it's like thickness of that wall, so it doesn't work, right? So you need to create something else, and this is the best thing that you can do. And now this is ready again for the layer number 3 up. And now you need to little bit judge, you know, how much you can push in the back, but you can actually just keep pushing them. It's again balcony there, and I think boxes will not, you know, drop down, because they cannot go further than that, right? But it's a one more important thing which you can do before you're gonna start unload. So it's gonna be much more easier for you to not have this pressure of boxes on top, so you can actually dropping them easier in that opening, because how you're stacking boxes, the pressure builds up because of weight, and then you cannot move the underneath layers, right? So it's like in real life, right? The more you stack, the more heavier it is from the top, and then you cannot move the bottom boxes anymore. So I'm gonna show you, you know, what you can do before unloading. Now we are empty, and I'm gonna show you something before we're gonna keep unloading buffer number 6. So you see, now I can keep just readjusting a little bit if you need, if you want, because you can still walk on the balconies, because it's not clogged with boxes, because it's unnecessary thing, right? And now you can see how this looks like. And we have for now 3 layers, right? But because we cannot stack that one more thickness like we have in the front part, because we're missing that one more like layer, now the layers going from bottom to top is gonna be 5 of them, not 4 like it's in front, right? So we're gonna keep stacking more here. Now we can walk around, so it's not problem to adjust little bit, push little bit to the middle if you really want, you know. If your eye is twitching, you know, if you really want to make it perfect. But yeah, as you see, this looks now actually perfect, right? It was not some big deal to do it. Now it's time for buffer number 6, which is our last buffer which we're gonna unload. And like I said before, after all this, we're gonna eat one more time with reclaimer, so we're gonna be 7 buffers, but that last one we're not gonna unload. We need to leave it inside full, because if you start unloading it at some few boxes, it's gonna start to boxes, they're gonna start to disappear. So it's no point to do this all effort and spending time to do that if you know your cargo is just vanishing all the time. The more you do after these 6 buffers, you know, it's no point, you know, you're just wasting time with that. So don't try to overfill it, you know, too much. Just keep doing 3 buffers here in front, 3 in the back. You fill the last one in as a 7th one, and this is it, you know, you just deliver this 7 each time. That's more than enough. And as you can see me here, I'm now stacking. I'm also like judging, you know, by the, you know, experience, how much I can throw in the back. And this is now the layer number 4 in height, right? But we're gonna start to do also layer number 5. So yeah, you can do 5 layers. And here in the back, we actually need to do 5 layers, because like I said, it's that one thickness of the box less, because it's shorter part. So because of that, we need to do a little bit different, you know, stacking. So we're almost done now with this buffer. I just put in last boxes up, and then we also gonna readjust a little bit in the back, you know, just to show you, you know, how this is supposed to look like. But if you have second player, right, if you're not alone, because we're showing this how to do it alone, then second player can, you know, adjust them nicely up, and you know, it's easier job normal. But you see, I'm now, you know, placing a little bit better. And now in front, where the buffers are, we have one more box. So I'm gonna put this box here, and I gonna place it now actually on the balcony, but now, right? Not before, so you can walk around if you really need to. And I gonna place two more boxes which are on the third layer, which you can see now here, right? So these two boxes which are next to the fence down, I'm gonna also pull them up and push them in the balcony part. So these three boxes gonna be on balcony. Reason for that is that when we gonna be unloading, we're gonna have one layer only above the lowest layer here in this area, and then we can easily push in boxes to that opening in the back here. So it's not gonna be any weight above the second layer, so we can actually push them, you know, in that opening, and this is how we're gonna start to unload. But this is gonna be for the next video, guys, unloading. Now I just wanted to show you, you know, that this is how it's done, and that we also fill up the buffer number 7, right? And this is that capacity that you need to deliver maximum to your place of selling. And here where I'm gonna stand now, this is where our second video begins, how this unloading works. I hope all this information is gonna help you guys, and you're gonna understand, you know, how to exactly stack and what is the most, if you wanna say, logical and the most efficient way of stacking these boxes, so you don't have any problems, so boxes are not falling on your head. You're not wasting unnecessary space in ship, because if you just throw them, you know, like whatever, everywhere in the corners, then half of this space is just wasted and they're just on top of each other, and then you need to turn them again, you know, place them how you need to throw them out. It's just unnecessary wasting time and effort for nothing, right? So this, how you see it here, that's the best way what you can do, and then you're not gonna have any kind of problems. And normally in the second video I'm gonna show you how I'm unloading and how I'm gonna use ATLS to throw these old boxes in the freight elevator and lower them down. This is all for now, guys, and if you find this all information useful and informative, please like, share this to everybody who you know that they're using reclaimers, and normally subscribe to my channel for more content. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.